All right, we are live. Welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. Thank you all for tuning in. We got some people already here for me to start. How awesome. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Ann. Welcome. If you're out there, please feel free to say something in the chat. And if you don't mind, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you care to subscribe, feel free to do so. All right, so let's get talking. Again, I work a lot on. Well, in this instant, there's a lot of parts to awakening that we've discovered right together on our journey here, and we have our belief systems that create our personalities, and that is a behavior that we put into the vortex, and we create a reality and a reflection, and we have life, right? And we've learned a lot. All of us have learned a lot together working on this wonderful idea about enlightenment. Among the thousands of distractions out there that keep us busy in the tugging and the pulling of our emotions that tell us we're supposed to act in kind. And then I was having a thing today. I was working the last couple of days. I got hit hard by some belief systems. Another good layer, and it was freeing myself from these particular ideas. And what I'm looking at this particular thing today, after I had this upset, there was a part of me that realized something, and a part of me that realized, hello, Renee. Love and light to you, darling. There's a part of me that realized, I still don't know enough of who I am as the nature. In my classes, the last class of the 4 months class, the last month is spent on persona development. And as Osipius and the other crew members that I channel, the rest of the crew, we all have all told us through the channelings that we have a natural self underneath it all. Hello, Chris. Hello, Jillian. And we have a natural self. And then today I was observing my mind reacting to a situation. And this is the situation. We were coming back today, and there was construction on the road, and I got a little close to one of those orange things, and it took off my mirror. And I just had fixed that mirror because my mom was driving the car, and she took off the mirror. She took it off in the garage. I took it off in the construction. And there was a lot of construction on 1604. It's a big highway. And if you ever been to Texas and you see the intersections and the highways, we built 300-foot overpasses. And it's like a big spaghetti bowl. It's an amazing marvel on what they build with the massive amount of concrete. And it looks like they have trestles everywhere. And they're building these massive intersections, where all these highways connect. And, we're on this little access road, and bam, it hit it. And I was like, and it's like I got smacked, and I got, hello, Nate. And I woke up a little bit, right? And I was like, oh, man. So that brought up and stirred up a lot of emotions. And of course, I know how to work with my emotions, so I don't react. I was like, man, it got to me, but I don't. What are we going to do? Oh, my God. And should we call the insurance and do all that panic stuff and try to solve the problem? That's the far as the thing I want to do is fix it. I don't want to fix anything. I want to experience reality for what it is and understand the embracing of reality in the now that leads to an enlightenment of experience and learning, right? But what had happened is after that event, I'm sitting around, just got done making a little snack for me and Tommy Jean, and I was thinking about when do I get to feel that self that doesn't have a self to maintain? And if you all are observant of yourself, you can really, if you really, really look at it, and it doesn't take too much. Hello, Michelle. It doesn't take too much. It just takes persistence and fucking humility to recognize it's your bullshit. And you see all these identified selves, your guilty self, your needful self, your focused self, your go-get-em self, your purpose self, and your happy self, and relaxed self, and I deserve a break self, and all these postures that we keep putting. It's like that Bohemian, no, the Verve, something Rhapsody, Bohemian, no, not Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a song. It's like I'm a million selves in one day, but it's only me. I can't break my mold, but I'm yet a million selves in one day. And we go through these different selves. And I was like, I had a moment of envy. It's like, it would really be good just to be me without a thought. But I know we can't stop thoughts, I don't mind thoughts. But the thoughts that pull me into an identity of a reaction, and then I'm reflecting on that. Bittersweet Symphony. Thank you, Jennifer. I love you. There's my record, girl. Bittersweet Symphony, and I'm a million selves, a million people in one day, but I can't break my mold. I can't change. My mold. So anyways, it's a point of where do we get that peace? I mean, I know one thing. We're gods, and I would imagine the natural state of being. Now, I haven't lived it because I'm still human, and I'm not going to put a human texture on it, because if I do it, then it skews the reality, right? Because whenever you put human on the unconditional, you have a human experience. Think about it, okay? So what I looked at it and was like, if it is unconditional love, that state of being must match that. Sisyphus, first time he said, love is not an emotion, it's a state of being. It's isness. This is love. But it's the relationship of human that is swimming in me. And to take down that is all the work I've laid out for all of you that watch the channel, and the ones that are in my classes, the ones that work with me. And of course, I work with myself, and I've evolved. I've evolved immensely. I was many, many versions of children, even though I was an adult. But those were my emotions. Those were my beliefs, my identities. But I still work with them. And then there was a moment of like, wouldn't it be just great to be the self? And I realized a couple of times I've been that. I've been an unconditional where there was just a bright sunny day, no matter what the weather was. And it was the perfect breeze, and it was a perfect temperature. And there was nothing to do, no one to see, no purpose, no meaning, no nothing. And it was just this slipstream of isness. And then I had to I reminded myself, I was like, look, this is a master class. It's an evolution. And there's just no way you're going to get this in a day, a week, or years. We got to work on it. And when I talked to Seth about the Christ conscious spending 40 years in the desert, the guy was ascending. He wasn't fucking around doing, someone had said this. He was in the desert and he's having this experience. He wasn't on drugs. He wasn't on LSD. He wasn't on fucking mushrooms. He was ascending himself. He was contemplating humanity and understanding relationships. And we have the keys. All of us have the understanding that every single relationship you have in every single now determines your experience, period. Every single belief that you thrust into the vortex will be the reflection and maintained of that identity, period. There's nobody coming to take it away. None of the futures are realities. Those are created nows. All the fears and the hopes, wants, and desires are creating the vortex currently, moving you through the consciousness of the experience of humanity. So you got to look at all this and say, there's a God inside of here. There's a God that chose to be worthy of this trip and to have an opportunity to wake up and sit down in a classroom of life surrounded by the reflection of self that always tells you exactly who you are, if interpreted from the viewpoint of unconditional. First, you got to recognize that it's you waking up. You got to accept through trust and courage that you are a God with no proof. And then you got to have the courage, the continuation of trust and courage to deconstruct the personality that you rely on every day, that has held you in safety and security, has gotten you into trouble, has done everything that the human experience has promised. It's fulfilled itself. And then you have an opportunity to sit down in the master class, join in on the humans who have chosen to awaken, and ascend yourself through only your self-realization, your self-trust, and your choice of your realities. Being diligent of all the beliefs that run through your head, meticulously and watching every word that's coming out of your mouth, noticing every posture, every take you take, noticing when your muscles tense, noticing when you sit and change your frequency and feel yourself shift. And that's your laboratory, that's your classroom, that's teaching you vibration, it's teaching you the education of humanity. It's not about the success. I had to abandon I'm going to ascend on this time because it was a thorn. It was keeping my focus over here. If there's the possibility, I have to abandon that. I'm not going to ascend. I didn't even want to say I might or might not, because that still offers hope. I just accepted there's a enormous possibility that the only thing I'm going to do is play this life out, and the only thing I'm going to discover is myself, and that's the end result. More discovery of me, more experience. So there's a God behind this right here. It says everything. It says everything, and you have to follow it. And for 99% of my life, I did. I followed all of the blueprints of my parents, their religions, their purposes. There's what's best for me. Then my brothers and my peers and my teachers and my leadership roles, and when I was in the military, I followed these with absolute blind trust. And I wrecked over and over again. I'd crash. And I was a good heart. I was a good person. I never did anything bad. I wasn't this. I was just the eternal fucking hope that it's going to work out one day. And it's impossible for it to work out. But now that we have the keys, it can work out. And it's not a destination. It's giving you the best life that you deserve right now. And the best life that you deserve is taking the master class. That's the life you came here to experience. Otherwise, you wouldn't have woke up. Otherwise, you'd be a Kardashian, or you'd be some farmer, or married with kids, and not even thinking about your own understanding of reality. You woke up because you had something in you that gave you an opportunity to shift your reality out of the polarity distraction of purpose and meaning and that's just life, and move into a completely separate room where the presence of God, you, the creator, is right there, feeling so close to you. And then you get to do the work on it. Not for pride, not for some kind of future achievement, but just the self-pride that not external pride, but the self-pride that Seth talked about. It's like this pride of, I did this, and I don't need to claim it to anyone. I don't need a reflection of validation. I did this because I'm masterful enough to know that there's someone in there that loves me so much that as soon as I touch it, I know I'm going to melt, I'm going to cry, and I'm going to fall in love with me once again. And it's absolutely stunning what we've done here. I was listening to some work the other day, and I know now that my work is absolutely exceptional, and it's very valid, because there's a massive amount of awakening out there that are not focused on enlightenment. They seem to be focused on what's best for humanity. Humanity doesn't need a guide. Humanity is an idea, right? Thank you, Anne. Humanity is an idea of an experience. When you do back up and take an umbrella look, and you need to manage humanity, and then you're spewing these truths and spewing these truths, and they're all true. They're valid to the singularity. There's nothing false about what anyone's saying. But we're not talking about true false in a dualistic way. We're talking about truth creating realities. Now that's the different kind of truth that you have to understand. That's what you put out is what you get back. And you have to sense that vibration within you and says, is this part of me that I'm now putting into my mirror, that these folks were putting in and talking about a whole bunch of just total distraction? If I'm smart enough to look at the vibration and I can feel that vibration, I have the humility to ask myself this question: is this God or is this me, the human? Where is this idea coming from? What is the source of this projection that I'm putting into my vortex? If I can see that, then I can change that, because the relationships are night and day. Unconditional is slipstream. It's a Garden of Eden. It's the Garden of the Lost Gods. I feel what it is. It's just this place of magnificence that we get to roam in. And then there's this human, and it's scratchy, and it's prickly. It's got this tension in it, and that's a relationship that you have within your structure. And that's a vibration that's putting into the vortex and attracting these realities of reflection. And if you keep interpreting and reinforcing that truth, then you get that truth, and that becomes your life. Thank you, Michelle, as read what Michelle said. So I think it's vital. That you know that there is a God, and it's not make-believe. I likened it one time to like the people that sell the CDs for self-improvement. You know, people think that enlightenment is this destination. And if you do enough of this work, you can get that. And I've seen so many people get rich on improving people. But no one's getting improved. Because it's not lying outside of you. See, it's not a structure. And we're taught structures. We're taught an education system. We're instructed. You know, if you do this, and then I test you on this, and you do this, and then I test you, and so on and so forth, eventually you're going to be accomplished. And we've learned that. And we follow that system. So that system sells because it's validated and it's been accepted because there's representation of that. There's education, degrees, jobs that require degrees. There's a complete validation. It's not invalid. It's a reality, not the reality. See, there's another reality. There's another reality to where this doesn't sell you, you're a God, if you do these ideas. If you do enough of this, if you cleanse enough, if you clear enough, if you clear your body enough, if you get rid of your negative and you go back and you clear out your bad past karma and you get a whole bunch of structures on what you're supposed to do, then you'll get there. And I call bullshit. Because I know there's nothing that can do anything for me that lies outside of me. Everything is a relationship that I command. And that relationship is an interpretation. It's the will of the now. And I put the God that I am into that will, and it reflects reality and says, this is what you are. So that structure told me something about what God is. What God is inside. And when I finally touched it, then I knew I wasn't selling a story. I'm not selling CDs and giving you a destination and you take this self-help and you'll get there. I'm not selling that. I'm giving you an idea about what this is. And then you have to do the work. But the work is not external. It's not validated through testing. It doesn't have a degree. Its only compensation is self-discovery. And that's a feeling. And those feelings at the beginning are mixed, skewed, elusive, looming, and they're always stirring in your vortex. And I realized the greatness of this mastery. This is absolutely the most difficult thing I've ever done in all of creation. There's nothing more difficult than waking up in my eyes. Because I'm God and I'm not God at the same time. And my preference is not God, because that's all I knew. And then I got to take a not God self and trust the internal awakener, the observer, that knows nothing and uses the resource of its own intuition to choose to deconstruct its entire personality that it relies and depends on for feeling accountable and valid and needed and wanted and reliable, that I'm worth something from the mirror. It's relied on that its entire life, and throw it away. And then be left with I am, with no resume, no external ideas of you are enough or you are this, and you have to do it all by yourself. You have to go to the mirror and say, I trust me and I'm a God. And the only way to find out if that's true is I have to do the work. No guide is going to lift the veil for me. No creature is going to reveal its greatness. There's no golden nugget that's going to go, oh, it's all over. I got to work. And I work every day at this. And I've made an exceptional reality for myself through the fears, through all of my truths that harbor inside of me. And they were brought up every day for me to look at and say, these are your truths. Do you have the courage not to choose them anymore? Do you trust in yourself as a creator? Are you willing to choose the vibration of worthiness each moment so that mirror may build and start to momentum itself into the reflection to show you you are rocked in the grace of your own love each and every day, without fail? Despite what the ego mind is selling its vast, very, very valid fears about the unknown future. So I say I am a God. And if I'm saying that, then the only one I'm saying it to is you. I'm saying it to myself. Each and every one of us is a God, an eternal being. And that persona is waiting. I love when I find myself in a couple of moments when I'm away from the structures or away from the work, and I just have this lightness about me. And it can't be categorized as funny or lighthearted or easygoing. To categorize it would diminish it. And we don't want to diminish ourselves. We don't want to put a thing on us where we've already been darkened enough. We have to continue to slip into the unknown now and embrace ourselves in every feeling, every understanding that is unknown, that we just can't understand what it is, but yet it's there. We have to have the courage to bring that self to light so it may reflect, so we may know ourselves. Okay? It's good work we do, guys. And I love what we've done. I know there's two earths here. They're splitting. The splitting earths. You know, of course, we've had Abraham and Bashar and a few other ones talk about this, you know. And you will never know what earth you're on outside. You only know it in here. And see, what's the greatest gift about this is you have this unconditional knowing. Listen to me on this. You have this unconditional knowing when you're bullshitting yourself. And you'll know the earth you're creating. And you'll know you have a choice. And you'll never be reprimanded or judged for where you put your energy. Because you're the singularity in charge of your own kingdom, and no one else is home. Everything is just reflected of your truth to validate your existence each and every day. Each and every day. You exist, law one, validated by what you put out is what you get back. The all are one and the one are all. Each and every day, it's validated. Okay? And you have that choice and develop that persona. Allow that God to peek out and develop yourself. You are worth the investment. You are worth the investment. So it feels like the world is in chaos. I don't pay much attention to it, but I get a few things here and there. And that's just a sign of the splitting earths. You can't think what a 4D earth looks like. You can't think that because you don't have the capacity of that. See, this mind, this memory was built and structured in a third density dualistic reality. If you use that as your resource, you're going to only manage that condition, that limitation, that world. That's all you're going to be able to manage. If you want to create, you have to use the other source. You have to use the persona. You have to use that self. Okay? You don't know it. It's unfamiliar. It's scary. It's uncertain. But you know you are alive and well in every now, and your existence is absolutely unmeasured. One and all are one. Know the law. Without you, there's nothing. So stop seeking the validation the best you can, and know that your existence is mattering, right? And then take the time and the courage and the inspiration and trust the intuition and express the unknown God. So you may see yourself in enlightenment. And when you get your reactions from your own belief systems that take you away from that 4D framework, that framework B, as Seth called it, and keep yourself in that world. Grow familiar with it. Want it. Work at it. And it's effortless to work at it because it's built in. Your belief systems are running rampant around you every day, and they're easily recognizable, and they're easily changeable with transcendence and choice. All right? So don't be afraid to take the known and take yourself known. You already know this self. And step into the unknown and find out what's there. And fear nothing, masters. For you are loved. Right? Okay. I've been working on in my advanced classes. I've been working quite some time with Sly. We had Sly. We had this unknown. Socrates. And we've been working on the God and the not God and the different frameworks. So as soon as I got a good grip on that, I'll pass it along to you. Should be next week, some of the ideas from there, okay? So I think, unless there's any questions, I think that's all I want to say today. And if I can remind you, I'll be in LA in April. And I will be channeling, and for those of you in the advanced classes, I know this, I will be channeling the Andromedans. They have a message, a specific message for that day. So that's exciting. So that's April 27th. Click the link below for the website and you'll see it on the front page. Most of you already know about it. I would love to see you there. And if you could, in your leisure, because I don't do this very well, share it. Share the link on social media or Instagram and stuff like that. I don't do that kind of stuff. So if you guys can let other people know that I'm going to be in Cali, it's going to be a very, very good channeling because I've been improving my channeling skills that I can match different frequencies and bring different entities through with different messages, different states of consciousness, if you will. So again, that's the California deal. We'd love to see you there. And of course, since I crashed my mirror, I would like maybe a few donations to help to get that bitch back on. I can't believe I did that. Oh, that's funny. All right, guys, listen. I love you. I love your mastery. I love you for coming here and helping me wake up. Okay? And for all of my students that are here, we'll see you in class. And for the rest of you, we'll see you next week, if not before. I love you, masters. Journey well. Good night, everyone. Thanks all for tuning in. Bye.